I'm Eric Sorensen. Happy to be joined again in studio by Pinnacle senior quarterback J.D. Johnson. Good to see you again, J.D.
Good to see you too.
Thanks so much for coming in. Let's just dive right in. The Open 8 finals are set. Early impressions, Chandler, Saguaro.
I mean, I'm excited to see it. Both two really good teams. I mean, and just right off the bat, they both have awesome defenses and awesome offenses. So, I mean, it's either going to be a shootout or maybe it's a defensive game, but we'll see. I'm super excited to see the outcome of it.
At this time of year, as you know, your quarterback can't just be a game manager. They need to be playmakers.
Absolutely.
If you're describing the two quarterbacks that are going to be playing for someone who has never seen either of them play, give us a scouting report. Let's start with Mikey Keene over at Chandler.
Mikey Keene, I mean, he's a good player. I mean, he's just a straight-up playmaker. I think he knows the offense great. He knows where his players are going to be, and I think he's really good at reading the defense, and he knows where to put the ball.
Okay, one of your good friends, Tyler Bevitt, over at Saguaro.
Yep, I mean, again, he's really good on his feet, too. He's a straight-up playmaker. I know they love the read option, and, he takes it sometimes, which is awesome. And I think his coaches and, him himself have done a great job just with film evaluation.
You've played in some big games. You've started some really big games at Pinnacle, including last year's 6A state semifinal. I'm going to have you take us through what it's like from a player's perspective leading into a big game. Let's start with practice the week leading up to one of those big games. How does the vibe change for you guys knowing that you're going to be playing for a big prize?
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely the biggest thing is just focus. Like, you got to focus. You got to take every snap. Like, that snap is going to impact, how you play. You got to, whether you're doing 7-on-7 Skelly or whether you're going against, the scout team or anything, you got to just prepare how you're going to play. You got to read the defense, start with the safeties, cornerbackers, and just look at everything and just act like, you're playing Chandler or you're playing Saguaro.
How about on game day, when you were preparing to play in a big game that night? Sort of take us through your routine leading up to the coin toss when you guys hit the field.
I mean, I'll even start, the morning of school. Okay. I was super, focused on the game. Like, it was super hard for me to even go through school without, watching film or anything. And and leading up to the game, I was a pretty quiet guy, until, after we're in the locker room, we all do a prayer in the locker room. And then once we're going out on the field, I start to get vocal, and just I feel like part of that's just encouraging our guys, because I don't know how the other guys are feeling, especially we got some young players out there, and just trying to help them, stay focused. And, because I feel like part of it is getting hyped too. Like, you got to get excited for the game. You can't just be focused,
So there have been some people, myself included, that have been a little critical at times of the Open 8 and some of the workings throughout the season. But I personally I think they got the 8 teams right. For you going through this, how would you say the first year of the Open 8 has played out?
I think it's going awesome. I think they did get all the 8 teams right. I do, and I'm excited to see how this finishes up. Saguaro, a 4A team. I know they get a lot of hate on them being a 4A team, but I think they were underestimated. They're a good team, well coached, and then Chandler, they've been a powerhouse for many years, and again, they have good coaches, good players, and it's going to be fun to see how this ends up, a 4A team playing a 6A team.
Okay, a little X's and O's now. Give us a key or two to each team trying to win on Saturday.
All right, well, we'll start with Chandler.
Okay.
They've been playing great all season, defensively and offensively. I just think it's really gonna matter how they prepare for this week, if they have good practices or not. And I definitely think watching film is gonna be a big part, because Saguaro does some tricky stuff on defense. And we'll go to Saguaro. Keely Ringo is unbelievable. Corner, running back. I don't know where else they put him, but. I think a big thing on them is going to be stopping the Chandler offense, because they're powerful. They got good running backs, good wide receivers, good offensive line, and I think for that matchup I'm really excited to see that one.
We talk about Saguaro being a power, but at the 4A level, I sort of think this team is playing with a little chip on their shoulder. Absolutely. Especially when they entered the Open 8. Absolutely. Because not only are they expected to be in the Open 8, the expectations at Saguaro are for them to win the whole thing. Do you think there's any added pressure for the SaberCats just because they are the 6-time defending 4A state champs?
I think a little bit, but also, I mean, they're playing Chandler, they've won many championships as well. So, I think they're just going into it like, any other big game. just focus, and they got to prepare well.
And flip it over to the other side in terms of Chandler, really good defense, as you mentioned, good quarterback play, a stable of good running backs.
Absolutely.
How do you see this one playing out? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh, geez, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to take sides or anything, but I really think Chandler is a tough team to stop, and I think they're a tough team to score against too. I think it starts with the coaching. I think they're disciplined, definitely well coached on both sides of the ball. I mean, they got a safety, Gunnar Maldonado, who's flying all over the field.
Yep.
And yeah, again, I'm just super excited to see this matchup, see how it plays out.
I appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much.